So welcome to yet another video and this video is about perspective. तो यार देखो पर्सपेक्टिव के फंडामेंटल ड्राइंग कोर्सेज में या फिर बेसिक क्लासेस में तुमने ये सारी तस्वीरें तो देखी होंगी, द 1 पॉइंट, 2 पॉइंट एंड द 3 पॉइंट पर्सपेक्टिव, द क्लासिक इमेजेस. These things are really nice to understand the laws of perspective, but how much are they applicable? क्या हम असली दुनिया में ऐसी चीजें देखते हैं जहां पे सब प्रॉपरली अलाइंड हो, अच्छे से एक एक लाइन में अलाइंड हो? ऐसा होता नहीं है. The reason is that we possess something called a peripheral vision. Peripheral vision यानी कि हम जब किसी चीज को देखते हैं हमारा फोकस एक पॉइंट पे होता है, बट हमारा ब्रेन उस पॉइंट के अलावा जिस पर हमारा फोकस है उसके आसपास की सारी चीजें नोटिस करता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू आर फोकसिंग एट माई फेस राइट नाउ, यू स्टिल कैन नोटिस दैट आई एम मूविंग माई फिंगर्स समवेयर हियर, इवन इफ यू आर फोकसिंग हियर. या So this is not properly emulated in the basic 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective. Yet it is very important to understand the laws. So how to deal with it? Well, to come out of this mechanical stuff and to make your drawings organic, we need to understand something called parallel lines. To understand this, let's hop on the drawing table.
तो बेसिकली जब हम कोई क्यूब बनाते थे, है ना, तो ये हॉराइजन लाइन हो जाता था इतना बड़ा, या ये अगर हमने व्यू पॉइंट ले लिया, अपना वैनिशिंग पॉइंट ले लिया, सॉरी, तो वो क्यूब के सारे एजेस, सारे साइड्स उस पे जाके मिलेंगे. दिस इज द सेकेंड वैनिशिंग पॉइंट. या and that's your cube. या बट यार एक छोटा सा क्यूब बनाने में हमें इतनी मशक्कत करनी पड़ रही है इस मेथड से. Though this method is very useful to understand the laws of perspective, but instead of using this, because the other flaw in this method is if you have to draw one more cube, let's say if you already have a cube like this, yeah, and you have to draw a similar structure somewhere behind this, okay, in the same space. So the intuitive way is that you follow those lines. Yeah, if this is the vanishing point, you follow those same lines and you create another cube in the same space. Yeah. Well, what if, I mean, these two cubes, this is cube number 1, this is cube number 2. What if the axis of this cube you want to rotate? That's little tricky with this method. Yeah. So instead of going with this method, try to establish a relationship between parallel lines. Yeah, this is one line. So the other line needs to be slightly inclinated towards this, not parallel, because somewhere it has to meet. Yeah. So I'm going to draw a line which is parallel to this here. Yeah. Similarly, I'm going to join this and other line which is parallel technically to this, but we are not going to draw it parallel because somewhere this also has to meet at a vanishing point. Yeah. Same thing we are going to do with the other sides as well. This is not going to be parallel again with this. Yeah. See, none of the lines are parallel, they are inclinated towards each other. But again, it depends on what kind of structure you want to make. So here, you got a cube. You got a cube which you technically cannot draw with this method because the vanishing points will be very far. Very far. You have to construct every vanishing point. Now, what if you have to draw a similar cube in the same workspace? Let's say this is the universe in which this cube exists. Now a similar cube, okay? So these lines are parallel. So for us, the horizon line is obviously somewhere above this because this is a top angle, right? So other cubes, see, I am taking reference from this line and this line. Okay. Once this is established, I can change the axis of the cube. Yeah. The whole point is to draw all these forms. Right now we are just drawing the cubes, but to draw all these forms without using these lines, just by using the relationship between the individual lines which are constructing these structures. Draw a lot of cubes because it is going to improve your spatial analysis as well as perspective. Draw cubes from all the angles. Yeah. So now let's apply this and draw our daily day-to-day objects without using those perspective lines. Yeah. I'm gonna draw a bag. Yeah. You see, I did not use the perspective lines. I'm just using the relationship between these lines that I've already drawn. Yeah. So and some organic weird wavy lines just to depict the creases between um, the cloth or the material. I'm gonna give this a little thickness, I guess. Yeah. Cool. So this is a bag which is open, not closed yet. Done. Let me give a belt to this bag which is tucked here. Actually tucked from both the sides. See, I am just drawing a parallel line. I'm following this line. Once I established this line, I followed this. Yeah, I'll give a little bit thickness to this. Yeah, and I need a button here. Yeah, let's give it some creases. Some creases here as well. Yeah. So apparently this is the center line of the bag. So the other belt will be attached somewhere here. Somewhere here. Yeah, and it will come from behind. See, I did not make a straight line, I made a wavy line just to indicate the material and make it more organic. Yeah. So again, one more button here. I mean, these drawings should not be perfect. The aim is not to draw an accurate bag, but a believable bag. So these belts are attached here, and from that belt, a strap, which is going to get over the shoulders. So now this is a little tricky with perspective, because the straps, it's like a Mobius strip now. So I have to decide the overlapping points. Okay. For me, this is an overlapping point, which means I'll get a thickness here. And here is an overlapping point. I want the strap to go straight away. Yeah, like this. And this is again an overlapping point for me. See, I'm just following the line that I made freehand earlier. And this is again an overlapping point. Yeah. I'll probably draw another overlapping point here. Basically, the strip is twisting and turning. You see this? Now I have to give it a 3D form. Yeah. So we can see the thickness here of the strip now. So we get an illusion of depth just by understanding parallel lines. And fade this because this is going down now. And here, begin with the thickness of this one. Yeah, this is again going down now here. Yeah, and here the thickness of this will be revealed. It's constantly coming up and down, like that. Yeah, mostly done. Now the places where there is an overlap, we can give a little dark black shade so that it is noticed that there is a turn. Yeah. Here also. Actually, we can put all of this into darkness, black. Yeah. And the bottoms of the ribbon, button. Yeah. And you can give simple line shading here so that it is indicated that basically these shades are used as cross contours. We know now that things are going to dive in with a light line and stroke. And the areas which are in contact with the ground, just darken them. Yeah, it creates a illusion of shadow, even though we are not creating shadows. Yeah. So this area will be a little dark, and yeah, like this. Voila. Let's give this bag a logo or title, something like that. Let's give it a circle. Yeah. It's like an element. Yeah. And just make this dark. This area dark. Oh, I've taken too much time on this. Done. So here's a bag. We drew a bag without using the perspective guidelines.
So do practice from life and fill that sketchbook with terrible drawings, because it is just for your own understanding. You don't have to show it to anyone. Okay? The more mistakes you do, the more better you'll become. तो यार अगर वीडियो हेल्पफुल लगी तो लाइक करो, शेयर करो और सब्सक्राइब करो. एंड वी ऑल्सो हैव अ टेलीग्राम चैनल कॉल्ड ड्राइंग स्पेस, where we share all our drawings, we critique each other, and it's all of you, it's not me. You guys share your drawings. थोड़ा ऑफ चल रहा है फिलहाल, पता नहीं क्यों. तो यार उसे ज्वाइन करो, लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में, और है ना, अपने ड्राइंग्स वहाँ पे शेयर करो, लोगों से क्रिटिक लो और कम्युनिटी का हिस्सा बनो.